Are you struggling with PMP questions like, what should the project manager do? Or what should the project manager do next? If so, you are not alone. This is one of the most common types of scenario-based questions on the PMP exam, and also one of the most challenging. The difficulty comes from the fact that multiple answers often sound correct. In this video, we'll take a deep dive into this question type, walk through 4 common scenarios, and more importantly, help you apply a clear decision logic and choose the correct answer. Some students approach these questions with simple assumptions. What should the project manager do means take action. What should the project manager do next is always analyze. While this sounds logical, it leads to 2 common mistakes. Some students always choose analysis. They pick answers like review, assess, analyze, even when the situation clearly calls for action. Other students do the opposite. They jump straight into implement corrective action or fix the issue even when they don't fully understand the problem. So now you're stuck between being too passive or too aggressive, and neither works. Here's the key shift you need to make. The PMP exam is not testing whether you know what action to take. It is testing whether you know when to take that action. Every decision in project management follows a sequence. Understand, evaluate, act. First, you understand the situation. Then, you evaluate the impact and options. Then, you take action. This is critical. You are not choosing the best solution. You are choosing the correct step in the process. That's why 2 answers can both look correct, but only one is correct at that moment. To make this practical, let's look at 4 common scenario questions. Scenario 1. The problem just occurred. In this scenario, you'll see signals like a delay just happened, an issue was just identified, a stakeholder just raised a concern. At this point, something has gone wrong, but you only have limited information. You don't fully understand the situation yet. This is where some students make the mistake. They immediately jump to fix the issue, implement corrective action, or make a decision. But that is too early, because you are still trying to understand what exactly happened, what the impact is, what information is missing. So at this stage, the correct approach is to review, analyze, assess the situation. You are gathering enough information to make an informed decision. Here's the key idea. Do not act before fully understanding the problem. If you jump straight into action, you risk solving the wrong issue or making the situation worse. Scenario 2. Do you know the root cause or not? This is where many students get questions wrong, because the real challenge is not knowing what to do. It's knowing whether the root cause is actually known. You might see a situation like, a delay occurred because a dependency was missed. A defect occurred during testing. A deliverable was completed late. At first glance, these may look like causes, but they are not. They describe what happened, not why it happened. A missed dependency is still a symptom. You don't yet know if it was caused by poor planning, lack of communication, inadequate tools, or process gaps. So in this case, you are still in the analysis stage. The correct step is to analyze, review, perform root cause analysis. Now, let's shift to the next case. If the question clearly states why the issue occurred, then the situation changes. For example, the delay was caused by lack of resource availability. The defect occurred due to incorrect requirements. The issue was caused by a known process gap. Now the root cause is already identified. There is no need to analyze again. The correct step is to implement corrective action. Now, if the issue has occurred multiple times and the cause is already known, then the expectation becomes even stronger. You are no longer just fixing the issue. You are expected to improve the process, implement controls, prevent recurrence. This is where preventive action becomes critical. Here is a simple rule to remember. If you only know what happened, then analyze. If you know why it happened, then act. If it keeps happening, then improve the system. Most mistakes happen because students act too early or keep analyzing for too long. The PMP exam rewards correct timing, not fast action. So do not act until the root cause is clear. And once it is clear, do not keep analyzing. You need to act and improve the system. Scenario 3. A change is introduced. In this scenario, you will see questions about a new requirement, a scope change, a stakeholder request. In this case, the correct answer depends on the project environment. In a predictive environment, scope is baselined. That means changes are not implemented directly. The correct approach is to assess the impact, evaluate the change, follow the formal change control process. This includes analyzing impact to scope, schedule, cost, resources, then submitting a change request for approval. Here's the key rule: do not implement change without evaluation and approval. Now, in an agile environment, the approach is different. Scope is not fixed up front. Instead of formal change control, changes are handled through the product backlog. So when a new requirement comes in, the correct action is most likely add it to the backlog and prioritize it with the product owner. The team does not disrupt the current iteration unless it is absolutely critical. So here's the clean distinction. In predictive, change goes through formal change control. In agile, change goes into the backlog and is reprioritized. So when you see a change-related question, ask yourself, what environment am I in? Because the wrong answer is often implement the change immediately, and the correct answer is to follow the appropriate process based on the environment. Scenario 4. Stakeholder or team issues. In this scenario, you will see something like conflict between team members. A stakeholder is unhappy. A team member is disengaged. Misalignment between stakeholders. Now, in these situations, students usually narrow it down to two types of answers: engage and communicate, or jump into solving the problem. For example, resolve the conflict, implement a solution, make a decision to fix the issue. And this is where the confusion happens. The PMP mindset expects you to pause before imposing a solution. The correct first step is usually to engage, communicate, understand the situation. For example, if two team members are in conflict, the goal is not to immediately fix it for them. It is to facilitate discussion, understand both perspectives, help them reach alignment. Here's the key idea: do not impose a solution before understanding people dynamics. Another subtle trap here is jumping to corrective action too quickly. Even if the solution sounds reasonable, it may not address the real issue. Strong project managers don't just solve visible problems, they first understand what's driving the behavior. So in stakeholder and team scenarios, the correct mindset is engage, understand, then act. Now let's simplify everything into a quick decision framework you can use during the exam. When you read a question, ask yourself, do I fully understand the root cause? If no, you should analyze. Has the impact been evaluated? If no, you should assess. Is there enough information to act confidently? If yes, you should act. This helps you determine where you are in the sequence. Remember, understand then, evaluate then act. Only move forward when the previous step is complete. To recap, the PMP exam is not testing how quickly you can solve a problem. It is testing whether you can solve it in the correct sequence. Strong project managers do not jump to action. They understand the situation, evaluate the impact, then take action. So when you see, what should the project manager do? Don't rush to solve the problem. Instead, ask yourself, where am I in the decision process? Because that is what the exam is really testing. If this helps you better understand how to approach these PMP questions, please like the video and subscribe to PM Aspirant for more project management insights, and visit pmaspirant.com for practice questions to strengthen your PMP preparation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.